Good evening, everyone. My name is Stacy, your host for tonight. Welcome everyone for tuning in for this broadcast. Hope everyone is doing fine and safe at home. We are doing this series of program because JPO think this will be able to help in lifting up the spirit of everyone in this period of long lockdown. Please help us to do the polling, and if you have any questions at any time, please type them in Q&A below. For tonight, JPO are indeed very honored to be able to invite Dr. Garry as our special guest for tonight. Dr. Garry Kuan is an Associate Professor of Exercise and Sports Science program. He will be sharing with us tonight with the topic of the application of music as ergogenic aids during crisis. Our JPO family attendees are mostly primary, secondary, college students, their parents, and teachers. At the end, we believe that your sharing of knowledge and information would be truly invaluable to us. So, Dr. Garry, could you please introduce yourself?
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Garry Kuan. So I'm an associate professor at the University Science Malaysia, and I'm teaching in sports psychology. I'm also an applied sports psychologist, whereby I work closely with athletes, helping them to cope with adversities and also enhance their sports performance. I just completed my postdoc study at Brunel University, whereby I use different types of music on driving using simulated driving condition. I'm also a passionate in using music for enhancing human performance, which includes like sports, music performance, skills learning, and also therapeutics for the disabled. Yeah, that's
Thank
it.
you for introducing. So, for the first question, moments. Dr. Garry?
Yep.
So, how can music enhance sports performance?
Okay. Many studies, in fact, have shows that by using the right music could lead to better performance, better sports performance. So we name it as an ergogenic aids. So because it does not require drugs or dopes, so in fact we call it a legal performing enhancing drugs. So because using music, so studies have suggested that listening to music with more beats per minute can enhance physical performance during low to moderate level exercise. So for example, faster paced music tends to help to improve athletes' performance when a person engaging in low to moderate level exercise. So either by increasing their distance travel, they can run further, the pace or repetitions completed. So the right music can also lead to a higher than expected level of endurance, their power, productivities, or strength. So there are four distinctive ways that music can enhance performance. So first is dissociates us from fatigues and pain. Next, it also synchronizes with your movement. It can enhance your level of workout. So study have shown that by using a synchronized music, it can help to reduce your rate of perceived exertions. So that means you are less tired by 12% and to improve your endurance by about 15%. In our study in USM, it shows that by using a synchronized music, it also can even enhance longer durations and time to exhaustion by about 80% of their VO2 max by about 50 to 60% longer, meaning that people will feel less tired and can go further. Music can also enhance your emotions, feeling happy, your good memories, and also music can also promote flow states, whereby it enhance your internal motivations. For example, we use music a lot in imageries for mental rehearsals, whereby we can help athletes to get into their zone and they're able to enhance their sporting imagery performance. So that's four distinctive way. Every time when we use music, as we needs to know the purpose of music, then it will helps to enhance. Okay.
Oh, that's very new information for us. um, can the same music enhance my workout?
To enhance your workout, definitely as well. So for example, you listen to music while exercising just to relieve your bored or tiredness. It can help to improve your quality of your workout and also increase your stamina by putting you into better moods. You enjoy your exercise more. So by using motivations or synchronized music in your exercise, you can show that you will have more physical and psychological effects. So when a song with a strong steady beats, for example, you can pedal, you can run with that beat of music. So it tends to give you a satisfying enjoyment and it also inspires to exercise more. So the lyrics, and if you add some catchy rhythms of motivation music, it also inspire you to exercise longer and work harder for your exercise routine. So it definitely will enhance your workout.
So I guess the music really can inspire you when you work out. What is the suitable tempo for exercising?
Good question. So a suitable tempo for maximum exercise performance will depends on the types of exercise. So for example, if you are doing a cycling exercise, so the preferred tempo is between 125 to 140 beats per minute. Okay, so a lot of our study in USM using treadmill running, whereby the preferred tempo for running in a treadmill will be about 120 to 130 beats per minute. Okay, so the beats will follow the running pace. Okay, so a plausible reasons why different types of exercise have different ideal tempos is related to your ability to keep time and beats of the music. So it synchronizes your strike, your pedal to the beat of the music. So since the different pace differs in treadmills versus exercise bike, so music of different tempos is needed to achieve the ideal performance for various workout. Meaning, so if you exercise in a running tempo, you might get a running tempo ideal 120 to 130. But if you are going for a cycling, you might go in a faster tempo, which is 125 to 140 beats per minute. Okay.
Okay. So it sounds like music is really important and it stimulates your mood, change your mood and feelings. So how is the music suitable for situation like coronavirus right now, like during the crisis?
Yep. Okay, thank you. So due to the COVID-19, many people are currently confined to their home, right? So it may cause stress for the people feeling fear and anxiety whether or not he or she will be infected by the disease, the economic uncertainties, the frustrations, the boredom, inadequate supplies, or maybe changes in their daily routine as well. So in tackling such problem, music can lead to a feeling of pleasures, fun, and change of thought process, and that it can change your behavior as well. So by putting a nice relaxing music, smoothing music behind, it will actually change your mood. So these psychological effects can seen in the physical changes in your hormone level. So for example, by listening just a nice pleasing music, it gives you a higher serotonin levels, known as a feel good hormones. You're feeling more happy, and this pleasure experience of listening to a song can result in an increase of better moods. So you will feel more happier by singing, by listening to a nice music.
Uh, um, I'm sure everyone is aware of the term music therapy. Could you explain what is actually a music therapist?
Okay, music therapies often help people to relax, feeling comfortable and safe. So a music therapy sometimes help patients with their medical procedures by switching their attentions from pain. So we always consider the developmental levels and age of each client. So people who are unconscious, maybe sedated, and also can be benefit through this music therapy procedures. So many studies, many research has demonstrated that by often music will help them to reduce or stabilize their blood pressure, their heart rate, their respiratory rates, oxygen saturations. And when people hear with a smoothing and familiar music, often they were selected by the music therapists, they will feel better to cope with pain, better to cope with their anxiety, and they will feel more relaxed as well. Often we say that the goals of music therapies is to collaborate with the medical teams to provide the best possible therapy for the client. So we want them to enjoy, we want them to relax, and we want them to able to get the reduce from their pain as well.
Mm. So it sounds like the job of music therapist is very important. So how can music therapists help during the crisis like now?
Yet, as we say that currently due to the COVID-19 pandemic crisis, there's a lot of psychological stress happening. Okay, so by using music, it can reduce their stress and anxiety. What types of music? Such as listening to smoothing music at the decibels level of 50 to 70 max. Okay, why is it 50 to 70? Is good for our ears. Okay, so as listening to a too loud music actually can increase your frustrations or even leading to higher stress. So besides when you exercise, you can also use music to synchronize your movement, such as enhancing your moods, getting a longer exercise duration as well. You can also exercise or even play music using an online video program. So if you actually Google it using a Brain Breaks by Hotspots, Hotspots is an online exercise program with music behind. So it promotes exercise, learning, and health. So you can use music to enhance and promotes more motivations to exercise, and this will give you better to cope with your stress and anxiety. Besides, you can also learn maybe to take up a music lesson, learn an instrument, singing along the karaoke, sing along your favorite tunes. All this will actually help to promote relaxation. So the key is during stress and anxiety, especially during this COVID-19 pandemics, try to use music, but not too loud music. Use approximately 50 to 70 decibel. Okay, so you can measure using just a decibel meter, even in a phone apps, etc. You can use it. It's very easy to use.
I see. So, recently I watched some videos of people singing and playing instruments in Europe while they're being under quarantine.
Yeah.
Why do many people sing during times of crisis?
Wow. Okay. So music actually create a sense of belonging and participation. For example, you play in an orchestra, you feel this sense of belonging in an orchestra. Okay. So stimulus happen whereby music can use as an antidote for stress and depression. So because of social distancing and geographical isolations, do not have in results in the social isolations. We are so much away in face of uncertainty and panics. So music will um, leads like a social bump for smoothing anxiety, relax yourself, and enhance the community connections, and acting as a defense or traits of community spirit, whereby we can actually use music to enhance our community. We can actually gel together. People play music together. They interact with each other. They feel the gratitude towards each other. They like to help each other to cope during crisis time. And even in healthcare workers at the moment in the frontliners, they also do listen to music as well. They're on music that they can sing together, and they will able to hum even. That actually creates that motivations of unitedness, cohesions, and they were able to enjoy music. So by putting music, even just the background, they will also helps them to enjoy the working scenario, causing them forget about stress and anxiety.
Okay. To ask any questions right now, so Dr.
Yep,
Gary can answer after this session.
sure.
So Dr. Gary, you had participated in the Jesselton outreach program before.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on this outreach program?
Well, very good. So I believe in the power of music, and community music's program is one of the best outcome. So I believe in a Jesselton outreach program whereby every children were given an instruments to play. They cherish it. They, if some of them even fight to get that instruments. This actually helps them to have their own uniqueness, owning an instrument. So by giving them the opportunity to learn an instrument, to perform on stage, this will enhance significantly their self-esteem, their self-confidence level, and even their cognitive level. So I personally believe in Jesselton outreach program a lot. That's why whenever it's possible, we will bring our students all the way to support the outreach program. We also do our outreach program in Kota Baru as well, whereby we have orphanage centers, then we have disabled centers, and also kids with learning disabilities, slow learner, that we also apply musics like drums, uh, playing an instruments, violin, a cello, and viola. This actually helps them to increase their self-esteem as well. And I believe that this kind of program is very important, that it will actually promote student learning and also increase their self-esteem as a person. So I think this is a very good program. I personally fully support this program as well.
I see. That's very good thought.
Thank you.
um, is there any advice that you would like to give to the outreach participants or to JPO families?
Um, the outreach participant always remembers that playing music is about fun, enjoyment. So I always say that in our concerts, in our opportunity to perform for the students, for organizing concerts, is always about the elements of fun, cohesiveness, and the enjoyment. Many times we organize concerts, we forget about that. We are too perfectionist into it. So we practice day and night, day and night. We want to see every single mistakes. We want to find it out. And this actually sometimes makes the student get too highly stressed. Okay, but it's good, but it's not too high. So when we actually get through that threshold, people actually lost the interest of music. So that's why many people actually completed their study in music, they finish graded, and they lose interest in playing the music. So it's quite sad. So the objective of music is actually to promote unitedness, unity, friendships, but we miss the main objective of having an orchestra. So in every time when we organize an outreach program, we always remember that it is for the student to learn something, to able to work together, to learn cohesiveness, cooperations, and then learn new skills that they will able to interact with others as well through music, communications, or non-verbal communications.
I see. That's very good advice for everyone. Um, so maybe we can answer some
Mhm.
questions in the lot of type of autism childhood. Some might sensitive with sound. How to introduce music to them through music therapy?
Okay, the question again, just a quick. So how do we introduce to
How do we
children? Is
introduce
it?
music to them through music therapy?
Okay. So always remember, every child do have a special, unique talent. So we just need to find what kind of talent is within himself or herself. So whenever we introduce a music, we want to let them try first. So for me, I will try different types of music, even in drum beats, violins, in just flutes. Okay, every small instrument, even just a harmonica. Okay, this will actually give them the opportunity to taste of different types of music. Okay, different musical instruments. Whenever they see that instrument, they like it, they will grab it. Okay, when we find the right music instrument for them, we will see them love it, practice it many times, and then it's even harder for us to ask them to stop. So I have a case study whereby I have a student. Okay, he don't like to study so much, but he likes to. Um, he's quite like social distancing with others, so hard to communicate. So the first few sessions, we introduced just a keyboard to them, to him, basically, and then he tried to play it and he disliked it. Okay, he even banged the keyboards. And slowly we introduced a drum, and the drum also is not suitable for him as well. So, and we changed music instruments and other instruments, and suddenly he saw that violin. Okay, he told it's that he wants to learn that violin. Okay, a slow learner, and the movement is slow. I remember the first lesson together with him, he have to even pull his finger to the fingerboard. Okay, pull his finger one by one down to the fingerboard. Many times, even the teacher said that it's really hard for him. But however, because of his interest, his self-interest, he actually learned this skill. Okay, and today he actually able to complete a grade 2. So it's a very good achievement for us, and we feel very satisfied. So never give up on the kids. And I will say that try with different instruments, try with different times as well. That when they feel that interest, they feel they like it, they will cherish it, and they will continue to use that. Okay, and you can see them practicing as well. So it's a very enjoyment experience. So many times when we work with people with that situations, we feel very enjoyed, and we also happy to see that as well.
Okay, thank you. It's from Simon Chong. During
Okay.
musical therapy, what genre of music are usually used, please?
Okay, it depends again. Just now I said it's about depends on their age, their level. So, for example, if we are working with a kids, definitely we will use more kids music. Okay, so if we are working with adults, we will find music which is smoothing, but it's more about their generation. Okay, so their 80s, we will work with the 80s music. Okay, so there are different generations will like different kinds of genres of music. So we will kind of cater that music according to their culture and social and their age. Okay, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Next is from Julian Wang. It's quite long. Noted in the introduction, Dr. Garry has done a lot of music therapy for autistic children. I have a son who is Asperger and he is turning 12 years old in few days. What kind of type of music should I use for music therapy during MCO when he is confined in the house? We have
Mm.
never tried any music therapy before, but he is attending a choir class regularly prior to MCO.
Wow. So I'm sure singing is good for her at the for him at the moment. So actually, singing, why people sing during shower and stuff, this actually creates the theta wave and relaxations. So I believe that by attending choir class is also useful for him. So if you want to try to go one step further by introducing an instrument, so for example, start with some simple drum beats or maybe a simple harmonica and or even just a keyboard, see whether the interest actually stimulate him. Okay, if it's motivating for him, he will continue to like it. But if he dislike it, okay, don't stop, but try different instruments first. Try to find his passions, and then slowly you will see some changes coming beneath him. Okay, so his character will change, his practice will change, he will love music more, and then we see that changes, then slowly we know that it will work for him. Okay, don't give up. So that's always good. So maybe sometimes during MCO we can also put some background music as well, some smoothing music, different instrument, and see what he reacts. It also helps. Okay, always remember, try not to put the music background too loud. As I said, about 50 to 70 decibel is good. Okay, higher than 70s or 80, it sometimes it hurts to them, and this actually creates frustration. And sometimes why some instruments actually hurts them is because of the decibels too high. Okay.
Okay, thank you. I guess that was really helpful for her.
Yep.
So Dr. Gary, this is from Mr. Yap. Could you share with us the project that you have done in PLPP?
Wow. Okay. So we are very fortunate. In 2017, 2018, basically, we went to PLPP. We were approached by the Kementerian Kebajikan Malaysia to set up the first disabled orchestra and chorus at PLPP, Pusat Latihan Perindustrian in Bangi. So basically, we managed to find 40 disabled kids, okay, and then 20 of them, extra 20, that means 60 of them, 20 of them able to play an instruments. So they will be given instruments by hearing test first we do some simple tests like they can differentiate the music level, the high tune, the lower tune, and then we also ask them to test different types of instruments. And I remember this is a amazing case study whereby a lady who have medullary plastic, whereby he got a cancer in the brain, and this actually caused like cerebral palsy. He could not actually move much, but she told Mr. Yap that she really wants to learn an instrument, especially the violin. So the first week we just let her try it, and she practiced so much. And she's like that guy before he used his finger one by one. By the way, after that 1 month of training and in PLPP, she actually performed together with us for the former prime ministers at Bulan Kebajikan, whereby there's almost 1,000 people came to see that concert. So it's a very enjoyment experience, and USM students were actually went to help them, our USM Symphony Orchestra, to play together with them and to perform with them as well. So I really blessed and I really enjoyed the experience working with disabled, and we managed to set up the first disabled orchestra and chorus in Malaysia. I remember after that performance, the parents actually came to us, okay, me and Mr. Yap, and said that they really thank us for that experience. Even though their kids were disabled, different types of disabled, they are the first one in the family who were able to play an instrument. So we felt very enjoyed. Even that 1 month over there were a lot of good times and also some challenging times as well working, but we actually felt the enjoyments of doing that outreach program. So the instrument is still there. Sometimes they even teach the juniors to play the instrument as well. So we really enjoyed that experience, able to work with PLPP to set up an orchestra over there. Yeah.
Wow, that you must feel really proud of them.
Yes, indeed.
um, the next question is, do you enforce proper technique and playing posture within a short time or through gradual correction, especially for young students? If so, what is the ideal duration in having proper mastery of posture and technique?
A very good question. So from my perspective, I will start with enjoyment. So for me, the most important thing of a person to like music is they enjoy the instrument first. So at first, we will not go into so much on technical skill. Okay, so maybe they are holding the violin slightly not comfortable, so we can just arrange with them, putting a shoulder rest, helping them to able to hold more comfortable. Okay, but we are not going so much about if they get slightly out of tunes. Okay, so if their hands not open enough, but we want them to learn that instrument first. So when they learn that instrument, they feel that confident. Okay, through that, we correct that very easily. So we tell them, why not you play open slightly further, and what you hear is able to get a better sound, and they enjoy it, and they will continue to practice using that. So I always say that find the best method that stimulate a person's interest in an instrument before we go into technical stuff. Okay, so it might create some controversials from teachers, different teachers, but for me, the most important thing is they enjoy an instrument first.
I see. Would you say the majority of autistic people are extra sensitive to the sound?
Haha, good question. So you will see that some people will be very sensitive to the sound. Some people will be totally deaf. Okay, totally ignore even the high and low tune. They could not even differentiate. But slowly through music therapy, slowly we help them to recognize a higher tune, a lower tune, a higher tune. And through that oral training, they were able to recognize and especially ask them to sing it out. By singing, it promotes a relaxation as well. So through that, they will able, whenever they relax, they will able to play better. So always we will go with slow step by step training. So we cannot straight away ask them to able to differentiate that music. They get frustrated. Okay, so often we like to promote fun, enjoyment first. Through that, they will able to learn and enjoy the instrument, increase their self-esteem. Then they will continue to practice. Yeah.
Okay, I see. It's from Jay Lee. How do you prepare your students with special needs for anxiety triggering music exam?
Aha, wow. So anxiety triggering music. So many times we will ask the student to do a mental imagery. Okay, what is a mental imagery? We are preparing their mind for the coming performance or maybe an exam. So we will use the music. Okay, so again, not to be, the decibel level is very important. Try not to be too loud, and if you are putting too soft, they ignore it as well. So a nice smoothing level is very important, about 50 decibels. And we will put it into the music and then put it into their mind for them to mental imagine it. Okay. By doing mental imagery, okay, this almost same as physical practice. Okay. Through that, the more they do in their mental, the mind control their body and the body feedback to the mind, and then they were able to perform better with more confidence, and with situations, different situation, different concert hall, different exam, they will also react better. So we will train the the performers and also the musicians by using mental imagery techniques. Of course, we can also use some relaxation techniques as well, teach them how to relax, the breathing techniques, but we will go for mental imagery more.
I see.
Yes.
Next is from Felix Law. I
Okay.
currently play the violin and I usually improve every week, but now my skills remain stagnant. What do you suggest to improve?
Okay. Okay. So suddenly you will feel your skill just stagnant. So what happens is you might check back, is it your motivation level or maybe your practicing skill? Okay, so I remember my teacher always asked me to practice skill. Okay, so up and down, up and down, up and down. Sometimes we feel demotivated. Okay, so my teacher actually asked me to play in three different types of scene. Okay, one is a very, very sad skill. So how do you play a very sad skill that you will make a person to cry? Okay, then you change. How do you make a skill which is happy, that you can actually change the moods? When people listen to that skill, they feel happy. Okay, and then you will change back to a different moods whereby how do you impress people with a nice skill? Okay, is it just fast or maybe slow but the technique's wrong? By changing different types of moods, emotions in your skill, you will actually enhance your learning, and then when you get it, you feel that satisfied experience. And I always enjoy seeing even my student when they perform well, they have that smile for you as well. So I always enjoy doing that with them, and always trying to find their inner motivations. What is their intrinsic goals of learning the instrument? How they can improve. So by doing simple skills like that, they will actually enhance their learning as well. So maybe hope he can try it.
Okay, thank you. Could you share, in addition to a performance career, what other options could a music student pursue?
Okay, performance career. Um, in music at the moment, definitely there's a lot of career outputs, especially you can use music as therapy. Okay, you can use music as enhancing performance. You can use music in speech pathologies. They use music as well. It can incorporate music into a physiotherapy. Even if you're a doctor, you can also use music to help your patients, and even in your surgery. So in USM, in our hospital, in a HUSM, we actually train students to use music to help in their skill. So if they are nurses, they can learn music to use music to help in their practice. If they are speech pathologists, they can use music to help in their um, clinical works. Even as a sports psychologist, we use music to enhance their performance. So, for example, in shooters, weightlifters, we can straight away use music to reduce their stress level during a competition. So there's a lot of things you can use, like music for technologies, music for educations, anything. But the cheese is you need to find what is suitable for you. What do you like it? Why do you enjoy using music? Then you will further enjoy using that skill. So I actually enjoy using my music to help in my practice as well as a sports psychologist.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Next is from George. Like now, COVID-19, what kind of music do you think is suitable for family, or any music we should not play now at home?
Yep. I will not say that any musics will not play at home. So it depends on the types of music you like, you prefer. Okay. But again, try not to play that music too loud. Okay. Once the music is too loud, this actually stimulates frustrations. Okay. Your brain will start frustrations when it's too long. Okay. And that's actually makes your brain hairwired. So what do we want to do is we try to see different types of music which is in your family. So in your family, you might have different generations. You might have young kids. You have maybe 10 years old youth, and then you have like 30 years old adults, and maybe 60 years old elderly. Okay, so we will try to find a music which is moving to everyone, okay, and play it approximately 50 to 60 decibel, okay, that everyone enjoy it. Try not to get too loud or too soft. Too soft, there's no effects, and sometimes it makes people get bored and tired as well. So it's like a chanting music, that's not good. So we want to use music as a way for communications, as a way to enhance unity and friendships and in a family. So you can try to use music which is suitable in your own genes. Okay, so cultural, culturally, your generations, and even um, your the age as well.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
How long is the attention span for a hyperactive child when we introduce music to them?
Wow, a hyperactive child can spend only 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, it's a
Mm.
very short period of time. Okay, a hyperactive people. So what we want to do is try to catch them. Okay, catch their attentions during this first 10 to 15. By the way, the first 5 minutes is just not there. It's just slightly like introductions. And the next 5 to 10 minutes is your key to get in. Okay, so try to use that time, stimulate fun, enjoyment, and that they will get that interest, that they will continue to love it. If we lose it, we might need to wait another sessions for that.
Okay. Can music therapy help in sports? What about academic study?
Wow. Okay. Music can also help in sports, definitely. So I talk about music. You can use music to regulate your heartbeats. So for example, it can increase your arousal control, it increase your workload, it lower your perceived exertion, it lower your blood pressures, it gives you a more physiological functioning, it helps you to get into the flow state, enjoyment states, and it enhances your mood state as well. Every time we use music, always remember it can be positive, whereby it have enhancing effects. It can be also debilitative. Okay, so we have to find the right types of music which is suitable for the right activity, right sports. Okay, in terms of academic studies, it's a tricky one whereby you want to stimulate some alpha wave cognitions wave. Okay, so we want them to stimulate alpha, and we want not too much of beta wave whereby they get tired and sleepy. Okay, so we want to stimulate some creativities from theta wave and alpha wave from cognitions as well. So what we normally do, we try to have some music with some variation. Okay, some variations musics, classical music is good. Okay, that's why people sometimes study with Mozart music, Beethoven's music. Okay, it helps to stimulate their memory and cognitions. And sometimes we can also use music as a memory, like a rhythms, the rhymes. Okay, so it can help you to remember better as well. So it definitely will able to help your academic study, but you have to know what types of music is suitable for your brain.
I
Okay,
see.
so sometimes people listen to music, they feel tired, sleepy, the beta wave is there, then it's not suitable for him. Okay, yes.
Okay, I think this really helps for most of the students who are listening this right now. Good. Do you happen to teach Alexander technique courses, or would it be possible to self-learn on Google instead?
Could I teach?
I
Do
think,
you like to repeat the question again?
do you ever taught Alexander technique courses? So yeah.
Okay, yeah, there's some courses, or there's called these Alexander courses, but I don't use it. Basically, in my practice, I use more on what we call guided imagery, so GIM. So as a music therapist, we use different approach, okay, to help people. But for me, I will prefer. I actually add ABA as well. So ABA is called Applied Behavior Analysis. So for example, any times when we see the children exposed to music therapy sessions, we want to analyze whether it gives them positive or negative effects. So by doing a charts of ABA, able to analyze that, this actually gives the parents some tangible goals that they see some changes in their kids and see that the music actually works for them, or maybe not working so much. So this actually gives them a good results for them to like to set better goals, so that they will able to judge where their kids are reacting and any effects on their kids as well. Yeah.
Do you think it's possible to learn the technique courses on Google, like self-learning?
Hmm. Well, unfortunately, I will always say that if you want to learn a music therapy skill, it's better for you to enroll in a music therapy course. Okay, so especially in Australia, in UK, or in US, you need to get certified to practice it. Basically, you will able to see some changes in your kids by using music for your kids. But when you actually be trained on that, you actually learn how to recognize, okay, what is important for the kids, how can it enhance, maybe for elderly, for a dementia patients, how can we able to see the changes in them. Okay, so by reading or by just looking at YouTube's, I feel that I don't think that you were able to learn. Maybe you can get some idea on what is music therapy about, but it's harder for you to able to apply it. So
Okay. Yeah.
better to learn it. Yeah, enroll with a course, then it will give you more confidence and you will enjoy
Mm,
doing that as well.
I see. Thank you. Um, so what piece of music recommend to improve the concentration? This is from Mr. Shitaro.
Wow. Okay. So maybe the violin maker. Okay. So basically, to improve concentrations, we want to stimulate more and cognitive wave, which is alpha wave. Okay, so for me, I will recommend more of familiar musics, and it's more on the classical types that he or she enjoy. Okay, so by using that kind of music, classical music, it will helps them to improve in their concentrations. Okay, so in driving, on the other hand, we actually studies that a recent study from us in Brunel universities, we found that by listening to music which is too loud, okay, people actually have more susceptible to get distractions, their eye trackles, their sockets close more, and they actually lost focus. Okay, so because of that music's too loud, they, although they enjoy it, okay, but they makes a lot of mistakes during simulations driving. So we will not recommend that to do a concentrations musics, as long you play approximately 50 to 60, 70 decibel, it will helps. Okay, and most important, you like that music. Okay, if you don't like that music, you will tend to close it or dissociate that music. Okay, so it will have no effects on it. So try to find music which you enjoy, and then play is not too loud as well.
I
Okay.
see. Thank you.
Yeah.
This is the last question, I guess, from
Okay.
Hung Moi Tang. Kindly elaborate more on music in physiotherapy field or any experience that you have encountered.
In a therapy,
It's physiotherapy.
in a desire therapy.
Physio.
Again, I could not
um,
get.
Physiotherapy.
Okay, in a physiotherapy. So
Yes.
again, as I mentioned, that as a music therapy, we don't actually complements as ourselves. So we actually work closely with the medical professions like physiotherapy, speech pathologists, with the medical doctors. Okay, we want to work in hands together to provide the best possible therapy for the client. So we are there to help to give the bits. Okay, we help to give the motivations. We help to switch them from the attentions from pain. So we want to give that effect for the patients. Depends on types of the patients or their client is actually experienced. So it depends on that, but we actually don't replace per se a therapist. Okay, so we don't replace OT, we don't replace a physiotherapy, but we actually work closely, collaboratively with our medical teams just to provide the best possible therapy for our client. Okay, so every time we will definitely discuss uh, the plans and also the goals together, that how we can actually use music therapies to enhance the recovery or maybe getting the better effects. Okay, so for example, if you want to reduce pain from by reducing the anesthesia, so we have to work together with the anesthesia to see that musics, by putting musics, what kind of musics we were able to reduce that pain. So compared to a sham condition whereby there's no music, okay, many times because of that's no music, they feel that anxiety and fear, especially during a surgery and stuff. So by just putting even just an earphone, close that attentions and put some smoothing musics, they enjoy that music so much that they actually switch their attention from pain. So this actually give that effects for them. Okay, so I would say that we are not there to replace a medical procedure or a medical personnel. Okay, we are there to work together with them. So it's a collaboration. So we help each
Uh,
other to help our patients or our clients to get the best possible treatments.
I see.
Yeah.
There is one last question.
Okay.
Does music help those stroke patients?
Wow. Yeah. Music definitely helps stroke patients. Okay, so what we sometimes stroke patients depend on their stage. Some of them will get very easily get frustrated. Okay, by finding the music, especially we find the music which is in their olden days, in their youth, okay, that they like that music so much they actually sing along. Okay, and we actually use that in incorporate into like physiotherapy during rehab sessions, and that actually helps them to relax us. Okay, when they relax their movement get better, and that actually gives them better treatments. Okay, this actually we found that it actually enhanced their rehabilitation process as well, and that actually faster give them the fun enjoyments and better rehab sessions. So we always need to find what is working for them. Okay, what kind of music uh, does he or she likes, and then we will incorporate it into the sessions. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's one more question. Do you combine or practice traditional Chinese 5 elements with your music therapy?
Oh wow. Um, no, honestly, I never combined that before. I never used that before. Um, but some of the Chinese musics, I found it is very smoothing, is very unique in a music therapy setting. I remember it during my exam in Australia. I used Liang Zhu, the um, Butterfly Lover by the Chinese Music Orchestra, and it actually helps the patients able to stimulate past experience. So Chinese music do helps, but I never use Chinese music therapy combined with a Chinese practitioner before. So it will be very unique and fun, but I do not have that experience before, so I could not elaborate more on that.
I see.
Sorry.
It's okay. Thank you for answering.
Yep.
I think there are no more questions.
Okay.
So thank you again for Dr. Garry for spending your precious time with us tonight.
Thank you for the invitation.
um, we apologize for the bad connection tonight.
Mm,
I hope everyone still got the informations from Dr. Garry and the answers for your questions.
okay.
Our JPO family program will be broadcasted every night until 28th April. Tomorrow night, we will have Chia Chang Kog, a percussionist, as our guest speaker, with the topic of percussion, basic technique, and application. Please check for the link at our JPO Facebook page and tune in. And also, if you want to watch tonight's program again, you can also go to our Facebook page, which is broadcasting on live right now. You guys have been great. Thank you for being part of this program and asking questions. I hope you got the answers that you wanted. Um, so be safe and healthy and do stay at home. Dr. Garry will lead the prayer to end tonight's program. Please pray in whatever faith you believe in for the COVID-19.
Okay. So let's pray. Living Father in heaven, Lord, we thank you that we have this opportunity to share and to learn from each other about the effects of music as an ergogenic aid during this crisis. We want to pray especially for the frontliners who are working so tirelessly for to help their patients. We pray that they will have good health and we will protect them always from harm and dangers as well. And we also like to pray for the people who are infected with the COVID-19. Um, the anxiety, the stress is there, but Lord, you will able to give them strength, give them recovery, and that Lord, you will touch your healing hand upon them, that they will able to heal as well. We also want to pray for uh, the family of the victims. They might also feel anxiety, stress, that whether they have convicted with this COVID-19 because of their family members. We pray that you will give them extra energy and also give them the assurance that they were able to get through with less stress and less anxiety. We want to pray for our country, that our leaders, that we will able to work and we're able to get through these times of conflicts, times of uncertainties, that we want to put into your hand, that we remember in Proverbs 3 verse 5 to 6 that trust in the Lord with all thy hearts and lean not to thy own understanding. In all thy ways you acknowledge him, then he will direct thy path. So we trust that your God will able to protect us. Continue to bless each and every one and be our family. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you and good night, everyone. See you all at the same time tomorrow.
Thank you. See you.